Okay, hello YouTube. This for YouTube, of course. Yeah, we're gonna do King versus Jin. Another request, as always. Yeah, I think I said this to Twitch chat already, but I'm gonna say it again. But that this matchup is not that good. Definitely not that good. Because Jin has an electric check, which is really good, right? As I already mentioned in my previous video, one of my previous vids, which was Kazuya versus King, electric checks against King is actually decent. It's not bad at all, right? Because King kinda lacks high crushing moves, like high crushing lows. Most of the time they're like fairly safe anyway. And that's one of the reasons, of course, the matchup is not that good. Second reason is the one high crushing low that he has is forward neutral too. And exactly the same reason as Kazuya, you want to make him use it. Because Jin can also launch it. Wait. I'm big brain for this, by the way. See, that's a punish. Fuck. Indeed a punish. It's minus 14 and Jin's while standing 2 launchers 14 frames. So that's why this one... Pretty bad matchup. Not a good matchup at all. Well, I got that thing for follow, man. So, electric checks, you don't like that. Because your high crushing moves aren't that good. And whenever you do high crush with forward neutral too, you take the risk of being launched. So you gotta be careful. So what can you do against Jin in general though? Let's discuss some Jin options. I already talked about King and his options in my previous video, Kazuya vs King. Check that out. How strong down forward 2 is, down forward 1 is, how to deal with all that. And of course there are mind games to all that as well. Like you can just spam this, if they keep ducking, that's a mind game. You can do this for free, maybe down 4 sometimes. But one thing I would recommend as a King player against this matchup is down 4. Exactly the same as against Kazuya, I would recommend this as well. Down 4 is a high crush low, which is fast, 14 frames. And it's not launch punishable. Like usually... Wait, why am I doing that? Let me just do this. Usually it's minus 13 and Kazuya can 3p minus 13, but it's too far. Like Kazuya won't be able to reach it and Jin won't be able to launch it. The best punish Jin can get is while standing 1-2. Right? That's the best punch you can get. So it's not that bad. Better than using this. Only 7 damage, yeah. But the thing is, about down 4, you're not using this for damage. You're using this to stop the opponent being comfortable. If they're too comfortable, you don't like that. Basically what that down 4 does is it makes the opponent sometimes low parry in their movement or low parry in their buttons. That creates hesitation, basically. And you want to create hesitation. The more hesitation in your opponent, the better for you. So that's what this down 4 does. It's also safe because high crushing, electrics won't catch you, and it's minus 13. It's decent. Now about Jin. Normally you want to sidestep Jin to the right almost all the time. Like an electric can be stepped to the right. As you can see, stuff like... Not that. Brain fart. Forward 4, for example. Also step all to the right. Against Jin, sidestep right is very strong. There are some things that will still catch you. Like this down back 4 sometimes. Like this. But you can even sidewalk it like that. We'll catch sidestep, but sidewalk beats it. So sidewalk right is pretty strong. There are some things that might still catch you, but there's not a lot. Even down 4 to 1, you can sidestep, as you can see. And I think even forward 3. I'm pretty sure this is also steppable. Yep. The sidestep right is very strong against Jin. But of course he has some options. Something like back 2-1 will track you, because sidewalk. Not sidewalk, sidestep. Like that. It has decent tracking to the right. It's not fully tracking, you can sidewalk it. Like that. But if you sidewalk and stop, the second hit might catch you. It's decent tracking, it's not that bad. One of the options. Of course, Magic 4. Very good tracking move, yes. Like, if he reads your step, this will catch you. Of course, it's risky for the gym player. If you do something like sidestep right duck, something like this, or just a duck, that's a free launch. So, consider these two options when facing against Jhin. Either sidestep right block, sidewalk right sometimes, it's sidestep right duck. So yeah, it's really good. Back 4, yeah, back 4 sometimes tracks to the weak side as well, but it's not that consistent, as you guys can see. Right? I think the most consistent thing for me is back to 1. But even that can be sidewalked sometimes, but it's pretty consistent. Back to 1. It's pretty good. 4, of course, great. And CD1, just like what I mentioned. This CD1 tracks fully to the right. Let me try to do the electric version. There we go. Sidewalk right. Damn, sidewalk right beats that? I didn't know that. But yeah, sidestep, it'll hit you. Like these sidewalks that I'm doing right now, this most likely will not happen in the real match. This sidewalks right here. Even with back to 1 when I'm sidewalking it, most of the time that will not happen. Because of spacing and a lot of stuff going on in the match, unrealistic to see that happening. So CD1 is one of the options. And I just randomly pressed that, but I think down 1 is also one of the options. That tracks really well to the right. As you guys can see. Look at the tracking. You can sidewalk this as well, but just like I mentioned, with CD1 and back to 1, we'll not be able to sidewalk it like that in a real match most of the time. But amazing tracking with down 1. I mean, this is a good move. As a gym player, like I play Jhin as well, I should use this more. I don't know why I'm not doing it. Okay, what else to know? About Jhin, of course he has like a classic Hell Sweep. Not classic, much slower Hell Sweep than the other machines. He does have a Hell Sweep. So this also has pretty good tracking. But this kind of stepping sometimes works. But you gotta time the sidestep right. And as I mentioned, very inconsistent. Like in this kind of ranges, this will most likely still click you. The sidestepping itself isn't that big of an option. But since it's slow, sometimes you can see the animation and duck it. Right? Sometimes. Oh, also, I have to mention this. Not a lot of people know, but this Hell Sweep recovers very quickly. Like, look at this recovery on Rift. Wait. I'm doing it too fast. There we go. Like, you would not think it would recover this quickly, but it recovers pretty quickly. So be careful about that. Okay. So the things you have to know about sidestepping and stuff like that is most of the time after plus frames. Like down back 4. You get hit by this. What do? So sidestep right, of course, is an option, but fast moves generally will catch you, like down forward 1. Especially as King. King sidestep ain't the best. But sidestep left as King works against down forward 1. Which is like an exception. I don't know why it is like this, but it is what it is, right? I think it's the same with forward 3. This will catch you if you go to the right. Oh, never mind. This won't catch you anywhere. Shit move. No wonder no one uses it. But yeah, it's like an exception. Down forward 1 tracks the right in that situation. Of course, 4 is a very common option here as well. Because if you try to mash, it's a counter hit. Sidestep catches you. Stuff like that. But as I mentioned, if you sidestep right, duck. Or just duck in general, like a backdash duck maybe. You'll be able to get that. And usually, backdash ducking is a very good option. Because something like this, right, down back 4 to down back 4. Backdash duck, it will also punish that. Sidestep or backdash low parry, but I would recommend ducking more. Okay. What else? I think I have to talk about 4-4 mind game as well. This on block. It's pretty useful to know. This is a very common flow chart. A setup, basically. Gym players use. Right? But what you can do is do a 13 frame check here. Down for 2, check if it's a counter hit, and do your king shit, right? King combo. This will always works. But of course they can block it. Cancel into a block. But it's safe. Like as a king, not that much of a problem. You can confirm it as a counter hit and finish it. If not, it's just a block. Pretty good. Online special. You'll be surprised. This is used in like Korea connections as well, which is, you know, always 5 bars, and offline. You'll be surprised. But usually what I would recommend, outside of like checking with the 13 framer if you don't want to go in minus frames all the time, is do a sidestep right into a block. So when you block this, go sidestep right very fast and just block. And if this whiffs, you get a free launcher. I mean, you can do literally whatever you want, right? Whatever the hell you want. Fuck. Yeah, sidestep right into block is very good there. Of course they can do this, which is a tracking mid, which is also safe, but if you sidestep right really fast and block, you'll still block it, right? That's where this down forward 2 comes in still, which is also safe for the 1+2, and you'll get a counter hit. So King actually has a decent option here in down forward 2 to check Jin and also get very big damage if you do it correctly. You can stop most of 13 frame checks with sidestep move. Oh, you mean this one? You will almost never see Jin use that move, by the way. And the King's down forward 2 I think beats it, yeah. Yeah, King's down forward 2 actually beats it. And even if it doesn't beat it, it's minus 14. What's the punish? Back 2, I think, yeah. So King gets like this for free. If you make them risk that, I think it's already good. Not to mention, if you do sidestep into a block, it also beats it. You won't get hit. So this beats it as a King player, and the sidestep also beats it. But this tracks really well, like you won't be able to sidestep it. See that? If you sidewalk, this will actually catch you. Or sidewalk left. So sidestep block is that's why I recommend. This kind of thing don't catch you. And the down forward 2 check will also catch that. Pretty useful. Okay. What else? That's usually what works very well against the forward 4 mind game. But be careful with the down forward 2 check for one reason. If they don't go into stance, they can do a backdash into a whiff punish, right? If they don't go into stance and you do this, you may get whiff punished because you're checking it. That's why you have to be careful. The forward 4, backdash into electric, stuff like that. Or not even a backdash, as you can see, just whiffs. When it comes to checking, be careful about that. That's why sidestep right block is very useful. Won't I post this on YouTube? I do post it on YouTube. I actually do post it on YouTube. This will be posted on YouTube most likely. Although I forgot to mute the fucking soundtracks. God damn it. Okay, if I hear any Bleach soundtracks, I have to skip it. They're copyrighted. Okay, what else? Yeah, 2-1-4 is very useful to know as well. So 2-1 generally is +6. You might see a forward 4, which you can sidestep to the right. On hit, wait, like this. So even on hit you can sidestep. Something like forward 4. Very useful. Of course 2-1 to down forward 1 will catch you. And fast moves in general will catch you. Like 2-1 to 2-1. Right? But it's useful to know that forward 4, for example, is steppable because it's a common option there. And let's talk about 2-1-4. If you sidestep, of course, this will catch you as well. You'll be hit. Or you can just block the third one. Although it's a safe mid. It's a very good. This is a very good string that Jin has. I'm not gonna lie. Very, very useful. So 2-1-4. The one thing you need to know about this string, not a lot of people know about this, is if the Jin delays the 4, it's actually punishable. And you can punish it with a backdash. You cannot sidestep it that well. Like sometimes you can, as you see. But it's sometimes risky to sidestep like that. It still might catch you. So if you backdash, like you do a simple backdash, this will always win. Backdash hop kick, right? Because as I said, sidestepping is sometimes iffy. You do one backdash, this is very consistent. They delay it, it always whips. Not a situation when it won't whip. Punish it with whatever you want, right? Maybe not that, that's pretty slow, so hop kick is good. Shit. Okay. What else? I talked about 2-1-4. Like that's very useful to know about 2-1-4 because a lot of gym players will delay this. If you launch him for it, holy shit, you're a legend. Okay. What else? Down 4 is very useful to know what to do it against this. Down 4, this will hit you a lot. If you're playing against the Jin, most likely this will hit you a lot. Of course, the best thing you can do is low parry it. Because if you duck, it's only -12, you get the one standing for it. It's decent damage. King gets actually decent damage from it. But still, +5 point damage, not the best thing, right? Low parrying is one of the best things you can do against this kind of loads. It's also high crushing, so you can't counter it. Like with the back one, right? Counter to a down 4 too. It's a little bit harder. Hop kick. Yeah, of course, hop kick works. On the hard read, hop kick works as well. 100%. But when it hits you, now, what kind of shit can you expect? You can expect down forward 1, which you can step. But as I said, in this kind of situations, down forward 1 actually tracks to the right a lot. So you gotta go to the left for this. And in general, I would advise going to the left after down 4. Because, yeah, exactly, Seppi. Up forward 2 is a very common option. And the way to beat it is the sidestep left. Because this actually tracks to the right. As you guys can see. And if you go left, this will whiff. You can punch with whatever you want, right? Your choice. So after down 4, sidestep left block is a very good option. Because there aren't a lot of things that will beat you. Especially this little annoying ass flowchart. Right? It won't beat you. You see that? My down 4-2 just whipped. Even though down 4-2 has very good tracking, and down 4-1, they whip. And something like if tracking move like 4-4 won't work, it's too slow. So sidestep left is amazing. Very, very good. Okay, what else to talk about? That's down 4. Usually sidestep left block is very good. Of course, the gym player might annoy you with constant down 4s if you sidestep left and do nothing. This will hit you again. If you duck, there'll be like other mix-ups, you know. You can do that kind of stuff. But it's up to you to adapt to that. Usually sidestep left is a very good option. Okay. What else? Down 3-3. Oh yeah, down 3-3. This is one of the options Jin has against sidestep right. This actually tracks really well. As you guys can see. Down back 4, down 3-3. This will track to the right. And it won't track to the left. So Jin has options if he decides to the right. But low high, not low high, low mid. Low mid, -14. Punch with whatever you want. Right? Either of these two work. What else? I talked about electric checks. You have to sidestep them to the right most of the time. Right? And then punish them because Jin's electric actually recovers 3 frames slower than any other electric. So they're not as hard to punish. Like this electric recovers slower than all the down 4-2s in the game. Maybe almost all of them, but yeah. Down forward 2s recover faster than this electric, so you should be able to punish someone with it one whiff. It's not that hard, basically. Okay, what else? No one use this. Back to 1, I guess. Like when this hits you, it's only +2. It's very useful to know the frames here. +2 means that you can actually mash here. If the gym player gets too antsy and mixes you up with like a down back 4, you mash back 1, jabs, stuff like this. This will beat him. So you gotta force the gym player to use fast moves like 2-1 or 4-3, not that, 4-3, down forward 1. Force them to use this because only +2. Don't make them health sweep you after this, basically. Make them scared that you're gonna mash. Okay, that's on hit. It's only +2, sometimes mash, make them scared. Not that bad an option. But, let's see on block. On block this is -9, but a lot of people try to mix the Jin player up after this, right? They might do a crouch grab, for example, as king. Do something slow, basically. And what happens here, actually there's a little mini mind game Jin players do. So after this -9, they might mash still. Because as I said, a lot of people use their frames and use slow moves. So like back to 1 to hop kick will beat that. Right? Or if I do a dash into move, down back 3, slow low, forward neutral 2, slow, stuff like that. All that will be beaten by mashes, so some gym players might do that. The other option they have is of course a parry. This into a parry. Pretty common as well. You try to mash something as a check, they might parry it. So that's the basic mind game gym players have here. Okay. Will God's Magic War reach here? I think it will, yeah. It will. Okay. What else? That's like the basic back to 1 mind game. Yeah, down forward 4 is pretty decent as well, but I don't see this used that much. And just like all the other moves, it is steppable, but it recovers really quickly, so be careful. Right? And step both sides. It has a little bit of tracking to the right. Wait. Maybe it doesn't. It has a little bit of track to the left, my bad. I remember incorrectly. Yeah, sidestep right works really well, but it recovers pretty quickly. It's a good move on block, it's like -3 or 4, I don't remember. -3. Yeah. Oh bro, Crystal! What's that essay, man? What the hell? What's that essay? I'm not reading that. Bruh. Okay, that's about that. The 1-2 string. Yeah, that's actually pretty useful to know as well. So there's the 1-4, which of course you can duck, but you can't step, and you can't mash. Counter it. Usually a duck beats it. And there's the 1-2-3. 1-2-3 you can actually step and launch, or interrupt with a 10 framer. But you can't duck this, and you can't step it to the left. You have to step to the right. That's usually how to beat these moves. But of course 1-4 and 1-3 are like kind of a mix up with each other, because if you step here the 4 will catch you. If you duck, the 3 might catch you, so be a little bit careful here. And if you mash, the 4 will counter you. So that's the basic mix up here. Castle, thank you for the follow. But yeah, gym players can also, like high level gym players might also do just 1-2. Like this, and you'll be like standing on block because you might expect a 3 or a 4. And then they'll do like 1-2 to down 4, it will hit you because you're expecting a 3, or 1-2 to down back 4. So 1-2 into mental frames, right? Dick jab. Yeah, dick jab works pretty well there as well. But as I said, some gym players just do a 1-2. If they just do a 1-2, dick jab can be low parried and you know, a lot of stuff. Dig jab is pretty risky if they have a read on it. But dig jab does work here. Like this. You want to be the safest, it works. But if they say or observe that this bitch is doing a dig jab, they can do 1-2 into a low parry, right? So be careful about dig jabbing. Okay. What else? That's usually the 1-2 options. Oh, Transit, thank you for follow. Oh, and Crystal also, hello. Oh, hello. What else? Forward 4. Down forward 1-4 in the other option. Yeah, this. Yeah, down forward 1 mind game. That's pretty useful to know as well. I just covered it. No, I did not cover this actually. I don't think I covered this. So this is a little mini mind game that gym players use. That's very good to do. Because down forward 1 has mental frames because of it. So imagine gym player just spams down forward 1s, right? You'll be inclined to like challenge it, like your own down forward 1 or whatever you have, right? Mash. That's why this is so useful for gym players. If you do challenge it, this is a counter. And this is why down forward 1 has such a good mental frames in general. Just down forward 1 will freeze an opponent because of this follow-up. They will either duck it or just block it. So something like this becomes more viable because the opponent gets frozen because of the follow-ups. But this usually applies to all down forward 1s if they have an extension. The down forward 1 mind game is what I call it. Usually if they have a follow-up, it has this kind of mind game. And Porsche has this as well. Now let's cover the mid option, right? What you can do against this is you can fuzzy duck the high, which comes out fast. If they do it instantly, of course, they can delay it. And block this as well. And this is almost always punishable by King. It does sometimes it has pushback. Excuse me. Dude, I swear my cough hiccups are the weirdest shit ever. But King can always punish this. Back 1-2. -12. So this and this gets beaten by a very fast fuzzy duck, right? As you can see. But only the fast version of the high. Of course they can just do this. If you fuzzy this, you're gonna block it. Which isn't that big a deal. Just be careful, do not stay down. That's basically a trap waiting for you. If you like, say this gym player is delaying his turn too much, let me just duck and keep ducking. You'll be more susceptible to the down forward 1 forward, this one. You're just gonna duck and keep ducking and you're gonna get hit. Right? So be careful about that. That's usually the down forward 1 mind game. And if I remember correctly, I think I step this as well. They delay it too much. I'm not sure. It's kind of useless info. Never mind. Never mind, you cannot. Maybe King can't. But yeah. Usually you just want to duck it. Duck and launch it. But just don't overcommit to the duck. Because they might just do this. Like 3 down forward 1s. And you're gonna look stupid doing this, right? Look at this. Right? Be a little bit careful about it. Like sometimes use the frames to sidestep, sometimes use the backdash. Backdash of course is the safest option, but if you're at the wall, try to sidestep out to the wall, this kind of stuff, right? Useful to know. What else? This is pretty common, I guess. While staying 4 on hit. They do while staying 4 punish on you. It's pretty common to do forward 4 as a gym player, right? This is forward 4. If you get hit. It's very good because you can't actually step it. But I think you can parry it. Yeah. It's a hard read. You can do this. This is very common. A lot of gym players do this. Even I do it. And they might mix it up with down back 4. Right? Is this also tracking? Can't do anything about it. And with forward 4, you might get hit if you duck. That's what usually they do. Usually anyway. It's different hop kicks. He has different hop kicks. Oh, this is the only hop kick I know. Jin. Wake up traps. Oh, you mean this one, right? They're gone now. Doesn't have them anymore. I wish they were still there, but they're gone. Oh, down 3+4. This is can. This is not hop kick. This is launch punchable. Mine's 19. You block this, you launch it. How about this? Nah, that's too slow. Launch this shit. And this is mine's 13. This is a hop kick. Back 1, 2. 2, 1, right? Whatever. If that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. Oh, I almost forgot. This string. This is a round ending string. Like, I see some good Jin players using this in the neutral anyway, which is a pretty good move in my opinion, because it forces a mind game after a jab. But usually, this is a round ender. So when you have 1 HP, expect this. And you gotta low parry it. Because if you don't low parry it, it's -12, you only get while staying 4. And it's also a mind game. Follow up. See this? This is the counter with launcher. So try to low parry it. Don't be afraid to challenge after down 4-1. Yeah, challenging after down 4-1 sometimes is good as well. But as I said, it's like mind game situation, right? Down 4-1 4, or down 4-1 fasting. Yeah, mind game situation. You decide how to use the mind game, but just know about it. Basically, is what's important. Okay, I think that's it. I'm trying to remember. I talked about this. Of course, Jin also has this. 1-3, right? But this is way slower than this. So usually, even if you duck, you will get up after it. But just be careful not to get baited by it. They talked about the back forward 2 options. Oh, I did not, actually. That's a good one. So back forward 2, gym players usually use this. I mean, usually high-level gym players use this. They use it as a kind of a tracking move. And they sometimes might finish it with either the 1, which is a high, the stuckable, right? Or a mid. If you duck it, this will catch you. But this on block is -12 without the stance transition, like this. And you can back 1, 2. But then comes the tricky part, the stance transition. Because if you try to punish with a high here... Oh, is it only jabs? I think jabs with there sometimes. Never mind. But if you try to punch with a high here, he has some options to evade it. Like that. That's a little bit iffy. Like if they do this, for example. So punching with a high is a little bit iffy here. Like back 1, 2, stuff like this. So the best thing to do is a 12 frame mid if you have one. That's like a legit punish almost all the time. But if you don't have one, you're gonna have to like go for a dick jab as the legit punish or down 2. Other than that, You can maybe react to the stance transition. Sometimes it's possible to do that. This stance. Like, don't punish it, try to react to this and hop kick it. Because they cannot block it after this. Of course, they can just cancel the stance. And block. Right? And it will actually evade the back 1-2 punish as well. But it depends on what they choose to do. If after the stance they use stance moves, sometimes hop kick is good. If they don't use hop kick moves and cancel it, you have to use the 12 frame mid. If you don't have one, maybe check with down forward 2 like I'm doing right here. Dick jab is always a punish. Down 2 is always a punish. Stuff like that. King doesn't have the best option for this, but if your character has 12 frame mid, that's the best thing you can do. Okay. What else? Like, for example, armor kick down forward 4, Dragunov down forward 4 works, Kazuya 1+2 works, stuff like that. Whoa. Messed up. Do I think Jin is stronger than Heihachi? I'm not too sure, but I think higher, because of his potential, he is. But he's hard to play. He's very hard to play. Just like Heihachi, of course. They're both very hard to play. Okay. What else? I talked about this as well. Forward 4 behind the game, I talked about that. Of course he has parries. I talked about back to 1 to parry. But Jin can literally do everything into a parry if he wants to. If a Jin player decides, oh, I'm gonna parry after everything, he can't do that. So be careful about that as well. Because this parry is very good. What else? I think that's it. I most likely missed something. Like, I most likely did. It's Tekken, for fuck's sake. There are a lot of stuff here. Rage drive options. Rage drive. Oh, I guess I should cover that as well. Yep. That's a good one. Let's do rage drive and end it with there. Oh, rage drive. What are the weaknesses of this rage drive? First, most obvious weakness is the high. That first hit is a high. Second one's a mid. So be careful. If you duck the first hit, you can actually punish it. Right? The most obvious weakness. If you read it, you can duck it. That's the most obvious weakness. The first hit being a high. But then the 50-50 after it. Yeah, the 50-50. After this gets blocked, Jin transitions into a crouch dash, right? And he's very plus. +7. Crouch dash transition, and you can do a lot of stuff here. The most common ones are maybe while standing 3, Hell Sweep, CD1, sometimes like this. Or they might just go in for a mix-up like this, you know, and do 4-4-3. That's pretty common as well. This into 4-4-3. So yeah, you have to be careful about that. I did not cancel correctly. So Hell Sweep after it. If you do a little fuzzy, you'll beat it. Right? If they do it instantly, you'll beat it. A little bit of a fuzzy duck, then get up. 4-4-2, yeah, they can also do 4-4-2. The 4-4-2 usually works against the Hell Sweep for fuzzy. If you fuzzy the Hell Sweep and try to get up really quick, this will hit you. CD1 will also hit you, so be careful. But 4-4-2 isn't that scary outside of the wall. At the wall you're getting a wall spot, of course it's scary. And outside of the wall, the scary option is CD1. Wait. If they do this and you instantly duck, fuck, I got hit. You're gonna get hit. But the weakness of this is, of course, it's punishable. They try to read it, they're most likely gonna die. Because if they're in range, they have low HP and back 1-2 most likely will kill them. If not, at least one more mix-up will kill them. Oh. It's real 50-50. If you can react to the Hell Sweep, it's not real, but it's hard to react to it in that situation. Like, I'm talking about when you cannot react to it. I mean, reacting to that is hard, in general, in my opinion. If it's a good 5-bar, possible. Worse connection, harder. PS4, harder, you know. In the situation you can't react to it, these things can happen. Nice combo. Okay. The Hell Sweep and 4-4-3 are the most dangerous ones, but 4-4-3 is very slow. If you can't react to a Hell Sweep, most likely you'll be able to react to a 4-4-3 anyway. 23 frames. Like this and this sometimes can mix you up, but most of the time you'll be able to like get up in time for this. Oh, and this on block. I almost forgot to mention this. When you block 4-4-3, this is 0. This can actually become plus as well. As you guys just saw. Let me try to recreate that block. +1. +2. There you go. Then the worst it is 0. It can also become +1 or +2. So the common option is 2-1 after this. Or 1-2 after this. For Jhin. Because most likely I either trade with your jabs or beat your jabs. Right? So be aware of that. He also has this option as well. As a second. The 4-4-3 into jabs. This is a thing you can do. And you cannot interrupt this. Right? Can't do anything about this. This weakness this has is that he's taking a risk by continuing with these jabs, right? This 1-2-3 of course is steppable. It has the same weakness as the 1-2 string and 1-2-4 might be a thing. So it's a little bit of a risk for the Jhin player. But a lot of Jhin players might do this though. So be careful about that. Rip, thank you for following, man. What else? And by that I mean you can literally do anything from jab. Like this is a thing as well. They might cheese you with this. I don't see this happening a lot, but they might cheese you with this. This one low. If you have very little HP, they might cheese you with it. But most likely this won't happen. This is way too slow for them to use in those kind of situations. But be aware, it can happen. Hell Sweep Oki. The thing about Hell Sweep Oki is most Jhin players go for damage, like this damage. 3-1-2, right? 51 damage. The Oki is like you go back to neutral. That's what's most likely gonna happen. But some boomers like me may use like weird combos, like while standing 1-2, which creates an Oki situation, which I can't do here. But this is very common. Shit. Let me change sides. I can't do it on that side. I suck. What the fuck? Bro! Please hit! I don't know what's happened. What the fuck is happening? No way. Can I get 7, please? There we go. Dude, I have no clue why that's happening. I think it's the angle. But yeah, this creates the Oki moment. That kind of thing. So when that happens, if you get up, you might get hit by a CD1. If you don't get up, you might get hit by the 4. That's what creates the kinda Oki moment. But most Jhin players don't do that because it sacrifices a lot of damage. But in that case, the safest option is staying down. You get hit by a low damage, but that's the safest option. At least you don't want to get launched. But yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah, YouTube, thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.